name's Chris Baker with Baker DMM, and this is our video coaching newsletter. The topic of today's newsletter is going to be why connect spirituality and personal finance. And before we jump into our discussion, I want to read you some lyrics. They're from a band called Pink Floyd. The song is called Echoes, and if you've ever watched any of our other videos until the end, you've probably recognized these lyrics at the very end. And the lyrics state, "Strangers passing in the street, by chance two separate glances meet, and I am you and what I see is me." And I think some of you might get that more so than others, depending on where you're at in your life, spirituality, religious, some might be atheists. But I think some of you might get that a little bit better than others. And I'm going to do my best right now to try to briefly, kind of on a very high level, explain that and what I've been learning over the years, and you know how I view that, and how I'm trying to incorporate those thoughts and that way of living, really I should say, into my daily living and being on this earth. But really, the problem is that people think too much. Okay, so that's the issue. We think too much, and the solution is really to be more present in the moment. And you know, if any of you are familiar with some of the present day popular spiritual leaders, Deepak Chopra, Eckhart Tolle, just to name two quick, easy ones that a lot of people have heard about, you know, really what they educate people on, coach people on, and try to get people to do is to really quiet the thinking and to be more centered and balanced and operating from your spiritual being, really your core essence, your oneness with the universe. And you know, really, and that's really operating from behind the thoughts, because we're not our ego, we are not our thoughts, we're not even really our physical form, so to speak. A lot of, you know, for thousands of years and in various different religions, you know, we're much more deeper than what we see and what we think we are. Really, we're operating from the oneness of the universe, really. And again, I'll try to keep this kind of high level. So if you think back to the Big Bang is what we claim created the universe. And it was just one big, or one small ball of matter, I should say. And it exploded, and now it's still growing. And what these spiritual leaders are teaching and saying is that literally every single thing in the universe came from one, and we are all one. And going back to our original quote, or lyrics, which states, "Strangers passing in the street, by chance two separate glances meet, and I am you, and what I see is me." So what they're saying is, they're seeing a reflection of yourself in someone else, therefore we are one. Because we're passing each other in the street, we see each other, I see me, you see you. Therefore, if you're operating from your core, from your essence, from your oneness with the universe, then what you're doing is in other words, you're operating from behind your thoughts. You know, so you understand, okay, I'm not my thoughts, I'm not my ego, I'm not the physical form. I am operating, and I know if I have a negative thought or a bad thought, or you know, just any kind of random thought, even, you know, good or bad, you know you're not your thoughts, and that helps you remain centered and balanced and not fly off the handle or lose it, so to speak, which could be in a good or a bad way. And when you do that, when you're operating from that centeredness, you are going to be able to connect more closely with other human beings, because you see yourself within a human being. There's a quote that states, "At any given moment, any given time, any place in the world, you can see a reflection of yourself in someone else." And that could go for anybody in the world, because from a spiritual sense, from a universal sense, we are all one. So if you're operating from that core, you're going to show more compassion to your fellow human beings and yourself and everything around you and in the entire world and the entire universe. And so really that's the key, That's the goal, to be balanced, to be centered, be operating from a deeper position within yourself, your centeredness, your spiritual state, your consciousness, and operate from that position in life. And so we've kind of identified that on a really high level. So now how does that tie in to your finances? Well, of course, we all need money to do things and to live, but we can't let money control us or make us live in fear, because then you become basically a slave to money, and that's not a way to live. Time and time again, no matter what age we meet with people that we work with, and we see this with a lot of older people and on down even to younger people that we've helped before in the past. People fear money. They're always worried about money, and that is not a way to live. Because if you think about it, yes, we need money. We need to be careful. We need to budget. We need to spend wisely, cautiously. We need to do everything we can to protect our money. Yes, but there is no reason to live in fear of money. And we see that. I see that a lot with people that I work with. You read about it a lot, and you got to be careful with that, because again, those are thoughts. And to my knowledge, and I think to anybody else in this world in existence, when you're born and ultimately you pass away, you can't take anything with you that I'm aware of when you move on to wherever that next dimension is, spirituality, whatever it is that happens after we pass away and move on from the physical form. Whatever your beliefs are, we're not physically taking any money with us. We're not taking the $1 million that we saved up in the bank. So, we want to be cautious. We want to be careful with our money, and we want to do what we can to protect it. And as if you're young, you want to protect, accumulate, and then when you get older, you've protected it, you've accumulated, now you're distributing it. But you never want to live in fear. Life is too short to live in fear of money. And our society in various parts of the world and various news outlets and media outlets, whatever we see on social media, on TV, and the movies, that doesn't help us. If anything, sometimes it makes us think even more. But as a collective whole, as our collective consciousness to improve society, and then, by not thinking on a collective grander level, not individually, and then if we could expand that collectively, and one by one start changing this and thinking less and being more present in the moment, that's ultimately that's going to lead you to a more fulfilling life in all areas. With your relationships, your family, your friends, your neighbors, your community, and ultimately your finances. You might go to the mall and you might see things, and then you might start thinking about it, and you think, oh man, I want to go buy that. But then you take a step back and you don't let your thoughts control you, and you say, you know what, I'm just going to look at it. It looks beautiful, but it looks cool or whatever. But I'm not gonna buy it. Same thing. If you get a magazine, or if you get a coupon, or whatever it could be, to cause you to start thinking and thinking, oh, I need this, I need that, I need to keep up with my neighbors, I need to keep up with my friends or the people that I work with. If we can just control our thinking, that can ultimately lead us to making, not only improving our lives as a whole, and also our financial world. So, the problem is overthinking. The solution is to be more present, to operate from your spiritual level. Work on doing that. If you haven't yet, I encourage you to do so. It'll make if you can get into it, it'll really impact your life, and I think it'll really impact it in a profound in a wonderful way. So, if you found this video helpful or interesting, please feel free to share it on all your social media channels, your family, your friends, or whoever you think might be interested in viewing this information. If you ever have a question that you'd like for me to answer personally, go to our website, www.bakerdmm.com. Scroll to the bottom, and there's a video newsletter form. Fill that out, hit submit, and we'll try to answer your question in one of our upcoming newsletters. And if you ever would like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to go to our website. If you scroll to the top, you can find our phone number, or you can click on the request an appointment button. at the top. And then if you scroll down, there's also a PayPal button where you can click on that and make a direct immediate appointment. And with any of these options, we'll be in touch with you in 24 to 48 hours to confirm and schedule our appointment. And until then, I will talk to y'all soon.